I'm going to try to cover everything needed to be able to turn in this assignment for Sunday, minus the modeling. The modeling should have been covered. To texture your model, if you can't see the preset for the hypershade down here, if you tap the spacebar, you'll get 4 panels that you could work from. Under the Panels menu, I can choose Panel Hypershade. In the Hypershade, I can select materials and they will become created. A Lambert, a blend, an anisotropic. If I double click the material, I can change its color and middle click the scroll mouse and drag it onto the object that I want it to be part of. Or I could add in the color channel something new, like a ramp, and change some settings like the color and assign that to my snowman. And to see those results, I have to push 6 on my keyboard. Or I could select my object, right click on the material, and assign material to selection. I could also edit this material by right clicking on it and going to Graph Network. I can adjust the ramp and it will change it. I could also add a bump map if I select the material and choose bump mapping. Fractal is a great bump for snow. I know that I need to adjust the depth because if I were to render, this is the view I want. If I were to render, my bump is too heavy. So again, I'll graph this network to clean up this area, select the bump value, depth, and change it to something smaller. In this render view, I can save my old render by clicking this green button, render a new image, save that, and compare the two to see the difference. I like my second snowman. The next thing we did was add lights under the Rendering tab using a spotlight, which it creates it in the middle of the world. You can move it, rotate it. By pressing 7, it will show you how that light looks. There we go. You can see it shining on my snowman. I don't prefer this view because I don't feel like it gives me everything I'm looking for. There, it's not shining on the ground at all. I don't know why. I prefer to go to Panels, with the light selected, going to Panels, Look Through selected, and this shows me where my light is shining. Everything inside of the circle will be lit by this spotlight. I want my whole scene lit, so I'm going to make sure it's all inside there. Then go back to Panels, Perspective, Perspective. So now I'm in my camera view. I can render again. Okay, and it doesn't look like much has changed. I need to switch this Maya software to MentalRay. And if MentalRay doesn't show up, you can go to Window, General Settings and Preferences, Plugin Manager, and in this list is Maya 2 MentalRay, and it just needs to be loaded and auto-loaded, then refreshed. Okay, if I change this to MentalRay, it takes a few more seconds to render. Reflections show up, which is part of the attributes of these materials. So if I select my blend, I don't want it to be reflective, so I'll turn off reflectivity. My Fong is also reflective. If I go to down on the list, I can find reflectivity. Okay, now if I go to my outliner view, you could also get to that through Panels, Panel, Outliner. I can select my light from the list, scroll down to Shadows, and turn on Use Ray Trace Shadows. So I'll save this image and I'll render a new one. And there, now I have shadows and there's no reflection. I can see the difference. It's improved. The shadow is really dark, so if I add a point light into my scene and turn down its intensity and render again, it fills in my shadows. It's playing with the settings inside of the lights. In the spotlight, you could adjust the decay, the penumbrum, the drop off, the cone angle, the intensity, or the color. If I make this a red light, my scene is more red. Okay, and you can add more lights. You can try different ones and see what they look like. To get your final render, by turning on this white and blue icon, it shows you exactly what you're rendering. You want to frame it nice, preferably make it look like your ground covers your entire scene, so it doesn't look like it's floating in space. Having nice shadows, having nice textures, spending some time adjusting those. Hopefully your model is more complex than mine. You should be able to finish this assignment. Okay, I hope this demonstration was helpful. Thank you.